and when I had no financial interest in Pajamas Media, I was asked to introduce them, and I did so because I felt that Charles Johnson, shut-in or not, was rising to what I felt the country needed, was a few brave men to stand up against this. And I really am flummoxed that he could become this nauseating person who has begun to embody the very things that he was attacking, 5 to 10 years ago.
Andrew, that's a very, very good point, because if you look at OGF 2005, most of the articles were about like Al-Qaeda, Hezbollah, Muslim Brotherhood, CARE. Now you fast forward to today, the articles are about
mocking Rachel Corrie.
Yes, of this pancake, he called it, Saint Pancake.
Yeah. Yeah. Now the type of stuff that when I mock and ridicule far leftists who are involved in Occupy Wall Street malarkey, who are involved in public sector union attacks, where I mock these people, he's the first one to, play the politically correct card. Of course I'm going to fight, rhetorical fire with rhetorical fire. The problem with the right, as I told him when he was trying to ingratiate himself with the right, was people on the right play by Marcus of Queensberry rules. They believe that there's, and being that he and I came from the liberal side and from Hollywood, we're profane. We believe in loud music. Sex, drugs, and rock and roll doesn't bother us so much. And so I was trying to explain to him who these people are that had taken a liking to him because they were a space alien, group to him. I'm like, yeah, it's weird. It's weird being embraced by the Tea Party type people who are normal, unassuming Americans, who would give you the shirt off their back and feed you. The thing is, I'd say they'd still feed the Magical Ponytail right now, and they're incredibly forgiving. But what's missing right now is an explanation how he went from being one person to this person. It's the exact opposite, and he is embodying the very things that he was that he was assaulting in a withering manner for so many years. It's just too spooky to think that this person turned 180 degrees and decided to do so on his former allies.
Andrew, are you there?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Savage. I'm the co-host of the Blogmocracy talk radio show. Do you want to take in a few callers? We've had people waiting quite a bit, quite a while.
Sure.
Okay, the first one I want to bring in is somebody who's quite a legend in his own space and everything. We want to bring on Chen Zhen. Hi, Chen. How are you?
Hey, guys. How's it going?
All right. I thought you'd bring in as the first one, since you're quite a fixture on the Boiler Room crew.
Well, I did come bearing gifts, 100,000 retweets to be distributed amongst you all. Yes. I guess I didn't really have a question for Andrew. I was just kind of, in fact, I didn't even know he was coming on. I just kind of got on just because I haven't talked to you guys in a while.
Okay.
But that is pretty interesting. So high fives.
Well, thank you, Chen. Any big explosive article coming up, or?
Well, we do have some collaboration going behind the scenes for some new players. I can't divulge too much information, but there are some new players on the scene in the Boiler Room, and I think there's some names that would probably surprise some of the Lizard family. So yeah, we got to keep that kind of on the down low. But Yeah, there's some things shaking. I've been kind of tied up in just kind of the real world lately with my job and everything. So you guys haven't noticed me around as much, but I'm still kind of interacting a little bit with the kind of the behind the scenes stuff that we're working on. And again, I was just calling in to say hi, just because it's been a little while, and I don't know if you guys have missed me or not. But
well, Chen, I'm very glad you called.
Well, so am I. Yeah, it's been interesting. It's been interesting so far. I didn't know a lot about this. I didn't know that Andrew was part of Pajamas Media. Maybe I just hadn't paid that.
Oh,
close
no.
attention.
At the very beginning, I advised them in a couple of their first meetings together, and Charles was a part of it. Simon was a part of it from afar. What's his name? Professor Glenn Reynolds was a part of it. Jill Stewart was a part of it. I'd love to talk to Jill Stewart because I'm still friends with Jill Stewart. She's managing editor of the LA Weekly, and I would say that Jill and if we were at a party back in 2005 when that started, I felt that Jill and Charles were the ones that I would go to when I walked into a room for whatever reason. And so it'd be interesting to find out from Jill what she thinks happened, if anything, if she's even paid attention to what's happened, because Jill is as close to an objective journalist as you're going to get. She's a Democrat, writes for the LA Weekly, but has been merciless towards the teachers union in her writing, and is very politically incorrect. And I'd love to find out what happened to Charles through Jill, because I think she could be as objective as anybody possibly could, and I don't know if she favors him or not.
Yeah, that would be very interesting. We have another caller, Carolina Girl. She's also a former lizard band by Charles. Hello, Carolina Girl.
Hello, how is everyone?
Hi, Carolina Girl. I got Andrew Breitbart here. If you have any questions.
Oh, I know. I am a huge fan, Andy. You're not on Red Eye nearly enough. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, yeah, they don't do remote shows anymore, so I'm in LA. So I only do it when I'm in New York, and so it's kind of difficult. It would be fun.
Yeah, because it's a great show. I hope more people start to watch it. I was curious if you were ever going to start on your website something about global warming. I don't know. You could call it Big Heat. I don't know. But
yeah, we own Big Environment, and I was thinking of starting it, but I felt that after the East Anglia emails happened, that phenomenon is still alive, but not really. It's especially when there's no money and there's no economy, that what they want to do to the American economy and to American industry in the name of the environment, while at the same time granting third world countries carte blanche to do whatever they want to the environment. It's a flat out global redistribution scam. And when it was exposed that the peer-to-peer review was nothing more than the type of intimidation and bullying and thuggery that we're seeing from the left in the public square, in which if you disagree with the prevailing orthodoxy, you're kicked out of the club, and there's billions of dollars in this racket in order to uphold the racket, in order to affirm the racket. So if you come out there and say, this hockey stick, these numbers are garbage, instead of being given an award for maintaining the standards of excellence in science, you're marginalized, you're attacked, you're told you're not part of the club. They want to be able to shove as many false data into the equation as humanly possible, and to use the matrix of Hollywood and the news media in order to create a layer of protection. And it's just a propaganda war of epic proportion. But I really do think that the last 2-3 years and the East Anglia emails have made it so that it's a dying religion.
Oh, except for one particular website, which seems to I mean, that was another thing Charles went kablooey on was his sudden espousing of the whole global warming hoax. And we're all, you know, and now, of course, all Republicans are anti-science and anti-this and anti-that. And it's
oh, and we're dominionists. And we're dominionists, you know. That the thing is, the theocracy and the Sharia that he hated and exposed, that's manifestly obvious and not even explained away in Islam, is now applied to Andrew Breitbart as somehow part of a dominionist anti-science cabal when I'm a secular agnostic Jew from West L.A.
Well, he can justify anything, you know that.
Right. And all we say is, we want to debate. We believe in free speech on this stuff. You show me data that shows to me that there's anthropogenic global warming that isn't coerced, that isn't part of a well-funded, propaganda mill. Maybe I'm up for it. But these people won't debate. After James Cameron demanded a debate with me and then canceled as I'm heading to the airport to go to the Action Institute to go debate him. You know, Al Gore says the debate's over. We won't debate you. We won't go on TV. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, that's crazy talk. Why won't anybody talk to Phelan McAleer and Ann McElhinney, the journalists of, they can go out there and debunk half of the talking points of all of the talking points of Lori David and Al Gore and James Cameron.
Yeah. Andrew, just to break in for a moment, Carolina going, Andrew. This is something that's always bugged me about the modern scientific community. All the effort they're putting into combat with your imaginary global warming, if they put that into a serious space program, and I'm talking about real space exploration, space colonization, because humanity, we're basically one asteroid away from being exterminated. Okay,
look. Go ahead. There are two words that I can give you that will show you how disingenuous these people are on global warming. That's Bjorn Lomborg. Because it's not about the science. It's about that the science and the propaganda is tied to legislation. All the legislation conspicuously is involved in moving money from one district to another, one country to another, in order to fulfill the social justice, economic justice, and green justice model.